A very good evening to all our distinguished academic, industry professionals, research scholars, and peers joining us today. We have more than 650 registrants spread pan-India as well as from different countries. I'm Samriddhi Singh, a Master of Commerce student specializing in human resources at the Faculty of Commerce and Business, University of Delhi. And it is my absolute privilege for hosting the session today. To guide us through this evening's discussion, we have with us a true visionary, our speaker for the day, Professor R.K. Singh. Dr. Singh is a professor at the Faculty of Commerce, Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi, where he previously served as the head and dean of the Faculty of Commerce and Business. Across a career spanning more than 35 years, he has mentored thousands of students who now lead across industry and academia. As a student, I have seen firsthand how unconventional his teaching style is. He moves away from static textbooks and brings in real database teaching instead. He has also been at the forefront of integrating AI into the classroom in a way that makes even complex HR concepts feel tangible and very real. For the past 2.5 years, Sir has been deeply immersed in building and running experiential simulations, a hands on data driven approach that lets participants actually test theories in real time rather than just reading about them. And the same hands on thinking shows up in his research too, where he explores how AI is reshaping HR processes and organizational learning. His interventions at India's top organizations, including Vedanta, the Life Insurance Corporation of India, NHPC, SAIL, IFCO, and DRDO, to name just a few, have brought laurel to him as well as to these organizations. Today, we will be exploring two of his simulations named Disha and Pratibha. As her student, I haven't just read about these innovations, I have lived them. Over the past few semesters, my peers and I have had the privilege of experiencing his simulation models firsthand. Now, before I request her to take over the digital floor, I kindly request all the participants to adhere to a few housekeeping rules to ensure a seamless and uninterrupted learning experience. Please ensure your microphones remain muted and cameras on throughout the session. Second, we want this session to be as interactive as possible, so please do drop your thoughts, reflections, and questions into the chat box anytime during the session. We'll collect these and move into a dedicated Q&A segment towards the end where Sir will address them as time permits. Also, in case of exigency, you can access the session on YouTube. We have pinned the live streaming link in the chat box. Without further ado, let us begin with our session. Sir, the virtual floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Samriddhi. And thanks everyone who is present here or there at YouTube streaming. I'm deeply honored and humbled the kind of response and the faith which you have reposed in me. And you have spent your evening to listen to a person who is not a technology expert, is just experimenting and having a received perspective of what technology is. When I look at this journey of integrating AI into my teaching learning processes, I find that roughly 3 years back, when everyone started talking about AI and AI is going to take over the jobs and will go for shaking everything, then I was also threatened. I was also very challenged and not able to decide that what would be fate of mine. Though the stage of career I'm in, it was not needed as such to go for using AI, but I thought that let's give a trial to this AI to see that how it is working. So since last 2.5 years, I started experimenting, playing with AI without having much knowledge about what AI is. And the first thing I looked at that can AI help me extending my self, the self of the teacher. And there I found that yes, AI is helping me. So first I did that I went for asking AI to create a data set for me. And over a couple of weeks, AI generated 26,000 employees data on 112 parameters, which I shared with my students, which I shared with my colleagues, which I shared with whosoever came into my contact and was in and around HR, even to some industry professionals. And thereafter, I narrowed it down to teach my subject of human resource development. I further made the improvement, and from the pack of 26,000 employees, I randomly chose 5,000 employees data to give a very specific exposure to students to fiddle, to play with the data while learning digital transformation in human resource systems. And when the students they were fiddling with the data, their understanding about the data that gone manyfold up than me teaching the theoretical aspect of what digital transformation is. And what we talk about digital divide, talk about digital maturity, those things, the understanding through data that got very much strengthened among my students. Then I thought that let's take it to the next level and create a simulation. Why simulation? Because a couple of programs I attended is sponsored by different American and European educational institutions. Their simulations were very interesting, but the affordability to us that was not there because the average price per student per session it was close to 2,000 rupees. So I thought that this will not be possible for the kind of the setup we are in. So went for developing my own simulation. So last semester I developed the simulation to which Samriddhi host she belongs to, a simulation that was Google Sheet based, where the AI script was there and there were many rounds there in simulation. And for every round, there was one specific Google Sheet was given to students. A data set of 5,000 employees was given. And that Google Sheet was full with different kind of the slide based, the Excel based formula. So students, they were feeding their numbers and some results they were getting, few things, the churning of the data they were doing. This was done to teach them the course of organization development and change. And their understanding about OD through data, I find it any day better than my understanding of OD because they have actually gone for rubbing their shoulders. They have gone for soiling their hands there in the data. But as it was my first experiment with the simulation, a lot many glitches were there in that simulation, which was Google Sheet based. So this summer, when I got a breathing space from my teaching, so I thought that let's take it to the next level. Though, as I gave my disclaimer that I'm not IT person, I'm very, you can take me as IT challenge person. So I started learning using AI, that how I can make my understanding of this simulation better, and how I can give it as a product. And there I wanted help from a different set of people. And for that, what I did that I advertised through social media that I wanted to have some help of the fresh mind who can lend their support and help to me. And then I thought that myself would be extended. So in that internship, I got three bright minds. One is Pushparaj, who has done this simulation, which is which was AppScript and Google Sheet based. The other is Namrata Priyadarshini, and they are from the business education. And the third is Prathit Visen, who is the IT person, a fresh BSc Computer Science graduate, who helped me to take my journey mediated through AI to next level. And the kind of the arrangements which was required, the kind of the support in order to design the course and put that in the perspective, that was given by the two other interns, Pushparaj and Namrata. And then I migrated from the Google Sheet based simulation to portal based simulation. And I created two simulations. I named them as Pratibha, the talent, that is for the third semester students who would be joining this July, and the Disha, the direction, for the first semester students who would also be joining this July. These are two simulations for teaching them two different courses, which is there before you. One for the performance management, and the other is for teaching them digital transformation in human resource systems. And these simulations help me to solve my problem. The problem is that when I look at AI, I looked at AI, I thought that this is which is going to replace me, and I would be a consumer of technology. But working through AI and taking help from the young minds, they're fresh baked graduates. I find that there's a good set of me has got transformed in due course of time. And then the two different versions of simulation, the Pratibha and Disha, that has gone for making me understand that there is a need to change the grammar of teaching. And with the help of AI and with the help of these interns, I've been able to learn a lot yet to learn. And I'll be sharing with you that what I could do and what is still there on the cards, which needs to be done. The problem which I solved in my 35 years of journey, and particularly with AI, that the students, they're good at in the class knowing the theory. When I'm lecturing, they are knowing that what theory is. But when the parallels of the theories are created and the real time situation is given, then application of theory, that is a challenge. Then the case study method, that was also very good, that was working very well. But I find that in case study method, whatever situation is given, that is also a simulated situation. But whatever steps, whatever decisions are being taken by the students, those decisions are not challenged. And in case study situation, you are not given option to go for the second best. You have the students, you make students to take the best, but the life is not giving opportunity always to choose the best. There are opportunities where a lot of ambivalences, paradoxes, and oxymorons, they keep on working, they keep on cropping in life. So I thought that this simulation is a little better than the cases a method of teaching the subjects like human resources. And when I meet my industry colleagues and they say that there is a lot to train to the students because they are good at the cognitive knowledge, but when it comes to practicality, then a lot of efforts are to be put in. So I find that this is failure of mine, that I'm not able to train them so that they are able to understand the real life situation. And that, sorry, that helped me to create the solution architecture. And that solution architecture where the lecturing will take the back seat, where the decision making in the real life situation with the raw data, that is what is going to be the backbone of this simulation, and where the choices are not hunch based, the choices are not based on gut, the choices are based on evidences what you are creating through that data which is given to you. And this is also embedded there in these simulations, that your choice of one round, there are different rounds of the simulation, which soon I'll be talking about. The choice what you are making in one round of the simulation, you are not given opportunity to tweak, to change, to make anything once you are submitting it. That what the life is. The life is also very linear. That had I gone for studying instead of business science, my fate would have been different. Or instead of science, humanities, something else, my fate would have been different. But now there is nothing like Control Alt Delete button that I can reboot my system. So your concept, whatever selection you are making now, the 2 3 rounds later, you are bearing the brunt of that, or you are finding it that how beneficial it is. And in my data set, I have gone for creating the human anchors in terms of the numbers. So they appear to be numbers, but they are human anchors. About that, soon I'll be in brief talking about. This is to teach this project Pratibha is to teach the course to third semester students the performance management and employee engagement. Here there are 6 rounds of in this simulation, and the teams will have the 5 members. They would be assigned 5 different roles, and as these students they have done the initial version of the simulation, so for them the data will not be given. For them, matrices would be given, and they have to make the judgments on the basis of those matrices, and then decide that how the performance of the organization needs to be managed, and how the employment, the employee engagement is to be created there in the organization. Sorry. Then came the Pratibha, which I developed after. Sorry, then came Disha, which I developed after Pratibha. So though both are my kids, I love both, but Disha is advanced version of the simulation, which is having very sophisticated kind of the rounds, where good set of challenges would be faced by the students. And both these simulations, they are not only simulation as a standalone game. That is, students they will come, they will play, and some fun would be there, and then the job is done. No, whatever is to be taught to them, those teachings would be done through these simulations. Soon I'll be giving you that how these rounds, 6 rounds in both simulations, they are mapped to what the course I'm going to teach to my students. In Disha, I have kept 1,000 employees data, and in both the simulations, the students they are given some some money to spend, the currency resource. There is something which they will gain. There is something which they will lose as they go for making their choices. And there are very embedded, established patterns there in these simulations, and particularly in Disha. And those patterns are based on HR theories. Those patterns are based on the theories of digital transformation. And what soon I'll be showing you that students, they have to choose options which are embedded, given on the basis of what the theories are to be taught. Because I'm giving them simulation, but I'm not giving them entire ecosystem where the simulation would be used to make the examination also based on that, and evaluation also based on that, but within confines, roughly 25% in Delhi University system, 25% of the assessment that would be done through these simulations. And whatever rounds are there, those rounds are based on strict theories. Those options are based on strict theories. And the cost and penalties and advantages and the premiums, they are also based on established theories. So whatever students, the choices they are making, they have to justify their choices. And as we often talk about ethicality, so ethicality is also taken into account. For example, this is the digital transformation in human resource system simulation Disha. If students, they choose that employees, they are not digitally literate, and they decide that, okay, check them out. So they decide checking them out, then the evaluation would be impacted accordingly, because that decision would be too impulsive a decision. That would be far from the reality. So the students, they have to choose the options, and those options must be practical. Those options must be implementable. And it is not only their submission. Whatever submissions they are making, those number of rounds of the interaction between me and AI has happened, and number of feedbacks have come from different industry and people and the colleagues of mine, that I have already given them different rounds. They have given their submissions. Those submissions are being evaluated by AI. When AI evaluates, it is not that AI's evaluation is final. AI evaluates, AI gives back to me that this my evaluation is. Then I, based on my experience and knowledge, I go for training my AI. No, these are to be evaluated like this. You have to go for looking at this aspect. So AI is to a large extent very much trained to whatever submission students are making. The AI evaluates, then it gives back to me. I read it, and then it goes to students. And as I was talking about the human anchors, these are four characters there in Project Disha, the four employees. Their character is very unique in the data set, though, as there is 1,000 employees data, so it is same data as other 996 employees data, but deliberately I have gone for creating these human anchors. If students, they are able to look at these anchors while choosing their choices, while making their decisions, then they would be able to understand that what this subject is and what this simulation is. And if they are not able to identify, it means there is need to make some change in them. So after every round, students would be making their submission. Students would be presenting those submissions there in the class, and whatever their presentation would be, the discussion in the class would be in and around that presentation, as these simulations are woven around theory. So theory would be taught around what the submissions they are making. And as you find that there is no linearity there in the life, I'm sorry. Therefore, there are shockers created there in the simulation. As we decide something else, and something else happens. So there are shockers created. The shockers in the sense that as students in couple of rounds, they make their submission. The moment they submit, then a pop-up comes that as I'm showing this to you, that there is a data breach as per DPDP Act. So whatever submission you have made, that is to be seen in terms of this digital data protection. And if you are not able to address it within next 24 hours, then whatever submission you have made, this would be of no use because this is a legal issue. So it is not only looking at the vertical of learning and development. It is also looking at the vertical of HR, that there is a compliance. And these kind of things are very much embedded because as it happens that we plan something else and something else happens. Then often we talk about the biases there in the AI. Often we talk about the biases there in the data. The simulation is, to a large extent, is looking at the biases of the data, the biases there in the use of AI. So what this is embedded there in the data set, that are students able to do. TP is the true positive, FP is the false positive, the TN is the true negative, and FN is the false negative. Are students able to look at that there are biases there in the data set? Are they able to address it, or they are simply taking it as a game? They are not able to understand the essence of the data and essence of the simulation. If they are not able to look at these, identify these, then their evaluation would be made accordingly, or in the debriefing round they would be told that where things have gone wrong. So in today's session, I will not be able to look at every aspect of it, but I will give you opportunity to play with the simulation in real time basis. But of course, uh, mm, as this is a team simulation, so team we will not form. We will give you the individual access to simulation, this Disha, and not as a paucity of time is there. So therefore, we will not make you to go for the all 6 rounds of simulation, but we will give you the 3 rounds of simulation, that you have the look and feel that what this simulation is actually talking about, and what how it is progressing, and what is your role there in the simulation when the students they are playing. I will request Samriddhi and Pratit to shoot the link of the demo simulation to the chat box, and you can go for clicking there on that link and open that link to see that what the simulation is, and are you able to reach are you able to find that what this simulation is all about, and have a look and feel. Hope you are able to get the link for the demo simulation. Play, then again I'll come back. Thank you. Please use it. Hope you are able to fiddle with the simulation. Good, good. I believe that you are able to have a look and feel that what this simulation broadly is talking about, and hope you have been able to reach to the third round of the simulation. And the moment you reach to the third round of simulation and you submit your options and whatever the justification you give, here we have only made 10 words or 5 words justification, but actually it is 200 words justification in actual simulation. Because of the paucity of time, I have not given you to write those many words. So the moment you submit the third round of justification, then you find that a pop-up comes. And you might have seen that when you are hovering over different alternatives, then uh, a menu, the hover menu is appearing. That what will happen if you are choosing this round or that round. I don't know whether you have been able to experience that or not. I will show you that what yes, Shivangi said that yes, she has been able to get that the hover menu. So for every round, the infographics is also coming along, and for every round, the student knows that if goes for choosing this option, then what is the cost, what is the penalty, and what is the benefit out of it. And as I told you that this is this is a linear way that once you choose some some option, you can't go for reverting it back, or you can't go for changing it because it is costly affair there in this simulation. And I find that I'll coming back to simulation again. I find that what this simulation has transformed in me, and what AI has transformed in me. So honestly speaking, the AI has transformed the grammar of teaching learning in me. And this kind of the data for me to generate, that was not possible, which I have not been able to do in last more than 3 decades. AI is there to help me to act as a evaluator, assistant evaluator. And a very interesting thing AI is doing for me, that AI is, I give my AI to my students. I will show that AI. And to these two courses, I have created the thinking partners, AI thinking partners for my students. To one, I have named as Arjun, and to other, I have named as Vivek. So Arjun and Vivek, they are there to help students. But interestingly, the last semester students, they will vouch, Samriddhi will vouch for it, that when they ask the AI that please complete this assignment or give this answer, so AI used to say that I'm not trained for this. And when they used to ask twice, thrice, then third time AI used to flag that if you'll ask again, I will report it to RTC. So AI is not that there to complete the assignment. In Disha and Pratibha projects also, AI would be helping them, but not for completing the assignment. I will show you that how this AI, this Arjun and Vivek, they are working. Let me share another thing. This is my classroom for performance management and digital transformation. And all my plans, all my lectures, all my announcements, everything is ready. You know, I have gone, and here the AI has gone for helping me a lot. And of course, interns, they have given a lot of boost to it. All my coursework, what is to be done in this coming semester, what quizzes would be there, that is already there in place. This is Arjun. This is the AI which will help students of first semester when they are studying digital transformation in human resource systems. This is Arjun. If I ask Arjun, what is what is this Disha assignment? So Arjun is not going to give me straight answer. Arjun will go for asking me another question. If I ask Arjun to complete assignment, so Arjun will say that, okay, I'll do it, but I'll give one more question for you. So this how the Arjun or the other Vivek, they are helping students to go for using AI ethically. So therefore, what I find that the AI, which is to be to me, it has gone for helping in different spheres. AI is helping me in different ways, and as you know, there is always a good and the bad side of it. But the way I'm looking at this AI without having any technical knowledge of IT, I find that what my dreams were, those dreams to a large extent are coming true. I'm able to give practical exposure to my students. I'm able to make students that how you can go for using uh, AI ethically within confines so that you are able to reach your goal, and you are not lagging behind. And in this in entire journey, though I told you that it is 2.5 years journey, but in now I find that creating this simulation is not more than 1 month's job. And if I say more than 1 month's job, you have to have only one thing, that flight of imagination. To what extent you are able to imagine that where you want to take your work. I will show you that what my actual simulation is looking like, what my actual portal is looking like. For that, I'll take you to my web page. Is my screen visible? Okay. See, here I go to the students portal, and there on my website, the Pratibha and Disha, they are there. So I click Disha. I'm now the member of team 2. So I enter into simulation. The students, they are having 6 crore rupees, 600 lakh rupees with them as budget. They have 100 change capital. They have, they have uh, uh, this change capital means whatever they are introducing, they have 100 points. And based on their choices, this will go up or this will come down. And whatever changes they are intending to implement, for that, they have total 60 hours per week. They have to make changes, they have to discuss, they have to take the CEO's time. And for this is the project control. This is the round history, that there are 6 rounds. What these rounds are talking about, this is given on this portal. Then students, they will be made to write their own reflection because it's a team simulation. So the individual's reflection should not be left. So for that, the reflections a tab is there. Then there is a playbook. This is the rule of this simulation that is given there on this portal. In addition to this, for all 6 rounds, there are rule books given in the classroom, which is students will have the access. They are spread over 3-4 pages, and this is what I was talking about, the syllabus map. The syllabus map is, it is not like this, that simulation is going in this direction and I have to teach something else. See, this is round 1, and this round has 4 options. So how the first option, what kind of the theoretical embedding is there in the first round? So this is the theoretical embedding there in the first round. This is the theoretical embedding there in the second. I'm sorry, in the second option. This is for the third. This is for the fourth, and this goes on. And this helps me to understand that my simulation is actually in the given confines. My simulation is helping me to teach what the lecturate method would have done but there I would have been there in the forefront. I would have been there in the center. But in this method, the students are there in the center. So AI has enabled me to transfer the production to AI and transfer the learning to students. So I'm neither acting as a bowler nor acting as a batsman. I'm acting as a fielder. Whenever the ball goes out of crease, I bring it back to the crease. And when I when as you when for playing that demo simulation, this is full-fledged simulation. And in this full-fledged simulation, see that this is round history. If I open the rounds, so this this round is open. A student would be taking going to one option, and you see that the hover menu is appearing. That this is what is. Are you able to see this hover menu? Are you able to see this hover menu? So this is one A round, then hover menu is there. Then one B option, hover menu. One C. So for every option, there is infographics given, and you choose some option, and then you give rationale. You submit, and then whatever submissions. Let's say you are making this submission for this round, and here you see that your budget is of 6 lakhs, change capital 100, and analyst hour 60. When you submit this round, then you find, sorry, this round is already submitted, so you can't submit. You have to go to the next round that is also submitted. When you submit, then you find that whatever submissions are made by you, those submissions are evaluated by AI, and those feedbacks are given, mediated through me, are given back to you, to your team, to you individually based on your reflection. And these resources, they are getting reduced or getting up. The change capital may go up in every round. So I find that this simulation, that is making students a better HR person. They're making them more industry ready. They're making them better, a person of better visualization. It is not only helping me as a teacher. Couple of industry friends, they have come to me to see that can it be possible to create a simulation for them for selection of the employees. That is I'm working on. And so these simulations helping students that or applicants in a real time basis, that what would be in a stress situation, what kind of the decisions would be made by the people, by the students or by the employees in the real life situation. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Nothing much in this as a gyan. This is more of the practicality based on the academic rigor. And I'm thankful to every one of you, and I'm thankful to my interns, and thankful to Pratit Visen, who has gone for extending your IT support. I will request Pratit to share his experience if he is there present today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So,
Pratit.
yeah, hello everyone. I'm Pratibha Hussain. I'm a freshly graduate computer science major from Delhi University. So I'll start with a confession. When I started working on these projects with Sir, I assumed we'll build the serious stuff, like few heavy frameworks, cloud infrastructure, maybe some machine learning. Then Professor Singh introduced me to the backbone of it all, Google App Script. Now, most of you might know App Script as a thing that sends an automated email or tidies up spreadsheets. So my first reaction was honestly surprise. We were going to run a live simulation used by real students on AppScript that's tied to a Google Sheet. So I was lost at first, but there were so many pieces and I couldn't see how they fit together. Then slowly the picture came into focus, and it was never about what technology was most impressive. It was about to to let educators have the tools that could actually build something. And uh, here's what stayed with me the most. Technically, these projects were not uh, like hard, and but they were a eye opener for me, like how I think through the whole flow. So they taught me to start from the user, not the technology, to treat a constraint as a design problem and not an obstacle. So whoever thinks like I'm not technical enough to build that, you probably are. The tools are ready, and many of them are sitting in the same Google account you guys use every single day. Thank you, Professor Singh, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Prathit. Now we can take questions from audience, Samriddhi. If audience they have anything which needs to be addressed, I'm open. State the relationship between AI and natural intelligence. These questions we will discuss some other time, different ethicality and other issues. Those things we will talk some other time. This forum is about simulation, building the simulation, and how it is to be used for teaching learning processes. Uh, Professor Kulshrest is asking about study material or link from where we can get information related to this topic. The Professor Kulshrest, your net and your uh, your entire web is flooded with the information about it. But this simulation, if you want to know more that what how simulations are to be made, you can visit the Harvard Business website. You can, if you have your education account and you are your website displays your name there on your education with your education email ID. So you can go to the Harvard's HBSP, Harvard Business School Publishing harvard.edu. You get yourself registered. You will get good set of information about the simulation. But more than reading the how to build the simulation, focus more on what is your visualization about the simulation. What is your visualization about the course? How it is to be taken forward. Professor Amit Singh is asking that educational institutions are observing that faculty and staff are using AI without understanding its limitations, and it often reduces critical thinking. Professor Singh, though this is not the scope right now, but I find that my critical thinking, my criticality, if at all it is there, that has improved, that has got sharpened and honed better with the use of AI. And more you challenge the AI instead of accepting the AI's response that gets better. If you accept AI's response the way it is responding, you say that this is what the last and ultimate truth. Then the AI also understands that I have not to put in much efforts. So keep on challenging your critical thinking will improve. And application of AI in teaching learning processes as a novice or as ignorant person, that is not going to benefit much. I find that if I know the subject, use of AI would be better. Then my simulation would be more close to what subject I'm talking, instead of what AI gives. AI is not knowing everything because it is me only who is knowing the subject. AI is my assistant. AI is there to help me whatever I want AI to do, which otherwise are not possible for me. Then somebody, a couple of other questions also have cropped in, I believe, for those interested in bringing.
Samantha, do you have questions for you?
Any question, Samriddhi?
No, sir, I do not have any questions. I've already been experiencing your simulations firsthand.
Poonam Siri is asking, was it easy to gather your inputs to prepare this simulation? Is there a possibility of incorporating your own? Yes, I think you joined late, Professor Sethi. The biases are embedded there in the simulation. I have deliberately created those biases so that I'm able to make a student understand that this is not that it is given and you will take it as a game and it is done. You have to go for using it, identifying that where biases are. Else things would be there in AI's control, not in yours control. So you the in digital transformation of human resource system, there is a digital maturity model. There is a what we say that audit, the digital audit. So it is embedded there in this simulation, whether they are able to identify that maturity of the digital system which is given in there in the data. Are they able to identify those human anchors which I discussed? So it is very much embedded in it.
Sir, Professor H.K. Singh has asked one question.
Yeah.
He asks, to say the relationship between AI and natural intelligence, in AI, on which aspect
Yeah,
there is
I've
no.
addressed, I've read that question. This is not the within the scope of today's discussion. Professor Singh, we can discuss this on some other forum that how this to be taken the human intelligence in the present AI, which is narrow AI. This I think is not going to take over human intelligence. This will remain subservient to human intelligence, but I have to be very informed person. I have to be very informed teacher. If I'm not informed the teacher, then whatever AI takes, if I take it as a gospel truth, of course, what you are trying to ask that will remain. Professor Tripathi says that it means we have to behave with AI like a father behaves with his son, challenging him consistently. Yes, you are very right. Right analogy you have drawn, Professor Tripathi. So, Ms. Paroi says the problem in the simulations that are presumed to be the students remain same for the students over the years, or they are changed every year. Uh, this as the first time this simulation I have created. So of course this would be there this semester, and in the meantime the new thoughts will come. Then I have to change it. And as I told you that the last semester students, I used simulation that was Google Sheet and app script based for the set of the students to whom I taught organization development. The same set of the students with some few new entries, I'll be teaching this semester performance management. The simulation is different, not the same simulation. That out of that data set of 26, different data set is taken. Few variables are added, few variables are subtracted from that. So of course it keeps on changing. So as the students they change, you can go for changing the simulation. So I believe Mr. Tripathi said that conduct a week-long FDP for faculty members. Yes, I'm open. I'm open to conduct faculty development programs. I'm open to collaborate with the industry. As I told you, that couple of corporates there with me to have some simulation for their recruitments. I'm working on that. So I'm always open, and I'm always open to help in whatever best possible way I can. So that is not an issue. You have only to have the desire. Praveen Pokhriyal says, can AI simulations readily assess critical thinking? Yes, it very much assesses Praveen Pokhriyal. And if you are not having the criticality as simulation moves, the penalty for that is there. Your the change capital which is given, that goes down. And Samriddhi will vouch for it that in the last semester, one group of students, one team made very good suggestion. It was very powerful suggestion. But the money which was given to them, the capital which was given to them, they had already existed. They are exhausted. They had overshot. They have gone for consuming more than what was given. So though it was a very interesting, but it was not practical. So those things are taken care of. The criticality is the pivot around which the entire simulation hinges. So if your questions are, Professor Rajendra Kumar says that what infrastructure and the digital competencies are required for successful AI adoption in higher education. There is only one infrastructure required, Professor Rajendra Kumar, that is your desire. And what would be the limit of using AI? Thinking. Whatever the flight of imagination you take, till there you can go for using AI ethically. Simple Aurora has asked a question. Yes, Simple's question. Can you see somebody? Simple is asking some question.
So just give me a second.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. It was a great learning. Just one question from my side that, as in for undergraduate students, if we would like to try this with our students, can we have access to through this portal, or do we need to have some other
Uh,
other way to try it out?
Actually, this is created for a specific course, Simple, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
you can go for using, but then you have to see that whether it meets your course requirements or not.
Yes,
Because
sir.
this is, so if it meets your course requirements, I can give you the access to this portal. For that, your students, they have to register,
Sure,
right?
sir. Because
And if
in fourth year, that is seventh semester, we are also having a paper by the same name, performance management, for
Mhm,
those students who are going to pursue research along with BCom honors degree. So
mhm.
I think this is going to be very relevant while teaching that subject.
Yes,
And
yes, that is not an issue. That would be made accessible to them. They can use it.
yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Niharika says that follow up. Yes, you can. I'm always there for follow up sessions. Aditi says that AI used both for development as well as implementation. Each round progresses with yes, Aditi. Thank you. Professor Amit Singh's question is already addressed. AI can address performance behavior aspect of an employee. Yes, it can. It can very much address. It can go, as I told you, that there are human anchors created. So students, they have to go for looking at the performance of every employee. It is not that averages they have to take, because as they progress, taking something very fancy, as they progress in the next round, they would be caught. So good set of the thought with the help of AI has gone there in the development of this simulation. So the chimes of the clock are heralding at 8 o'clock. That was the time which I have taken from you. Thank you so much, and I'm always there to collaborate. Whatever kind of collaboration you want from my side, I'm always there. And thanks to every one of you that you could spare your 60 minutes to listen to a person who does not know anything about technology, who is fully dependent on AI for this technological help, and of course some enthusiastic interns. So thanks everyone, and I believe that as the simulation progresses in the next rounds, I'll be there with you. Thank you so much.